listening to the 20-Minute Veto podcast with your special friends, Heather and Sean Billings, and tonight's special guest is Zach Schwartz. Tonight's episode 3, Mandy, there and back again. I am so excited to talk about this film today, causing a great ruckus between the Holy Trinity here, and we are just excited to tell more stories about how things get made out here. Special shout outs to Ryan George, the Critical Drinker, and the podcast How Did This Get Made, for inspiring folks like us to think, hey, maybe we can do it too. So join us tonight as we explore this delicious Nicolas Cage feature film that may have slipped under your radar. Let's jump right to our big man Sean, who put this film forth. Tell us about the movie.
So I'm super biased. I love this movie. And 2018, it's a basic revenge story. Mandy, our titular character, is married to, or is with Nicolas Cage out in the boonies. She gets noticed by some super Jesus freak, nightmares, psychedelic hippie group that the leader of which becomes obsessed with her, has to have her. They try and kidnap her. She doesn't want to go, so they burn her down. And in front of Nicolas Cage, who we don't really get to know much at this point, and then he goes on. They leave him alive, big mistake, and he goes on an incredibly visceral and satisfying revenge kick, killing everyone one by one or a couple at a time. So awesome movie. Zach, Heather and I have watched it a few times. I've showed it to a bunch of people. Zach had never seen it before, so kind of start with you. What do you think?
Oh, well, that's very interesting. I enjoy batting cleanup, but tonight, because this is such an interesting film to talk about, we've got a lot of angles we can look at. Like, where did they get their homage from? Like, who are they stealing from the most? And first of all, there's a Sylvester Stallone film called Cobra from the 1980s that has a very similar through line, a simple, elegant story of a man out for justice. I want to call this movie the Red Filter 2 Electric Boogaloo because they really do overuse the red filter, but that's a choice. It's not like by accident. I think the casting is really interesting. I think that it is a bit of a renaissance for Nicolas Cage. I'm a huge fan of Cage from The Rock, Con Air,
countless movies.
To a lesser extent, Face Off. But
Face Off's great.
20 minutes too long. John Woo made a mistake. Tacked on that boat. A boat race kills the movie. Anywho, Nick has had a long and successive career. We could do an entire 3-episode series on this show about the man, the myth, the legend of Nicolas Cage, now living out the rest of his days in Las Vegas. Does he ever need to make another movie again? Did he need to make this movie? Is this just kind of him needing a paycheck? Was his taxes behind? Because I'm not saying he phoned it in. I'm saying that the photography only required very simple things from him. Even that extended shot of him with the barbed wire. Again, there's a lot of extended shots. A lot of holds.
It takes its time, for sure.
They really do want to massage some specific notes into you, and they really kind of harp on it. One of your notes before we even watched it was a nice example of psychedelics, and I really do find that in film they get it wrong. They get taking mushrooms or LSD as an animated journey, whereas this one shows it more as a kind of just a light tinting, a Xanadu, if you will. If any of you have seen a Xanadu, you'll know what I'm talking about, and these guys haven't yet, and that'll be an upcoming show when I torture them with Xanadu. But anyway, the LSD trips are really kind of,
the whole movie's a trip.
Are sensual. They've got a lot of hard-hitting visual stuff, but so does Terrifier. But what the LSD moments do is kind of ease them into you. They massage your nerves enough to say, okay, now we're invested. So I thought that was a nice choice to give us a roller coaster, because so many movies these days are just hard-hitting from your first get-go, and then you're just running, and then the movie's over. And so this one had some good pacing choices. Touch of the ultra-violence. We could just put on a whiteboard all of the movies that this movie steals from.
You said Cobra because he uses this giant gnarly axe, right? And they've got the axe gang in
That's
Cobra.
right.
They're clanging them together.
Right. That is part of it, but also some of these
Christmas movie.
Also a Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
And
stay tuned for our Christmas special.
The
where we tell you.
legendary pizza cutting scene.
Oh, it's just fabulous. It still holds up. It's shorter than your average Stallone movie, even for a Stallone movie. Anyway, I'll wrap up by just saying thank you for continuing to pepper my existence with films I may not otherwise choose. I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan, and there are other movies that are revenge stories. I don't know if you've seen Pig yet.
No, but it's on the list.
It's
because it's been recommended several times.
It's the exact same movie with a green filter, and instead of murder, it's cooking.
Oh.
And he prepares these wonderful meals to try and save his pet truffle pig. And so a lovely pairing of your in the near future will be Mandy and Pig on the same night. But there is an ocean of other Netflix direct-to-video releases that he's done lately that couldn't hold a candle to the quality of photography that we looked at on this one. I'll finish my rant by saying, if you are in for a touch of the ultra-violence, definitely check out this film. If you like to see somebody who really knew how to steal from the best and present it as their own fresh take on things, definitely check this film out. It's a simple, elegant horror film. Definitely not a veto after 20 minutes. You really want to get this one going.
Oh, you liked it?
Enough to watch the whole film anyway. Excellent. I could hate on it all day, but I'd rather turn it over to my man here and see why he thought this should be episode 3, the magic episode.
Well, it just happened to be my pick last time, and our trip was done, so we didn't get to fit it in there, but you hadn't seen it, and I just love showing this movie to people who've never seen it before because it is so visceral and odd. It's like putting on a metal album. You got to check out this Slayer album or this High on Fire record or whatever. I think the director is very heavily into metal music and
I think that's pretty obvious.
Doom music and stuff. I think like Sun O maybe is the band at the end there. They do like kind of a song for Nicolas Cage, or they use something like that as he's kind of finishing off all the baddies. It's a video game. It's a graphic novel. It's all these things, but original in the sense that we've never seen these characters before, and we don't know who Mandy is, and we don't really get any kind of backstory about them except for like the scar on her face and kind of her expressionless face. She's got trauma. She tells the one story about the skylarks and
the starlings,
or the starlings, and how her father, treated them or obliterated them as little baby ones in front of her and her friends. This is the kind of place that she was from, and I think Nicolas Cage is like, she's picked him to be her guardian, and because we don't know his history either, but he's this strong silent type. He's out doing kind of drop logging, pretty hardcore job, and comes back to her, and she feels safe with him because of whatever trauma she's been through. She's got this gnarly scar on her face, and then he fails, right? He fails keeping her safe because she gets lit up right in front of him, and he has got to watch his love die like that. So you get that cathartic scene in the bathroom that's been memed a million times now, where he's got his bottle of vodka and he's just screaming because it's finally set in as to what has happened, and he can be angry about it now and kind of figure out his way forward. And hilariously enough, just staying on Nicolas Cage, when he goes to his guy to see, who's that amazing actor from Commando and Predator.
Billy Dukes, is that his name?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Terrible with actors' names, so apologies there. But he's incredible. Anything he's in is just adds this extra gravity to it, this weight, the way he talks and delivers his lines. It's amazing, and that's like the first time we get anything really out of Nicolas Cage other than like a word here or just consoling Mandy after her bad story. And he's just kind of a regular person, the way he explains things. So I think it's really relatable that way. And you want to see these bad people get their comeuppance, and they're such characters unto themselves. Again, like video game bosses or these bosses in a graphic novel journey that are so odd and fucked up, and Thomas Wayne commanding performance. Like, he steals every scene that he's in. He steals in such a creepy, weird way. And we learned last night, some of the bonus features, that Nicolas Cage was actually going to be the character Jeremiah Sand, who's like the head of the Jesus Freak cult. And I think they made a good choice by him not taking that role and playing Red, and getting into this kind of like silent hero archetype that he's carved out for himself now, because he's got Willy's Wonderland. Which, have you seen that?
I think that's better than this film, but only because of my penchant for coloring.
Right. And it's very super
It's very
colorful.
colorful.
But this is also incredibly colorful. It's like a broad stroke.
They hold to their reds and purples, but it's a choice,
Yeah.
and I respect the choice. I'm just saying that, and I've only just seen this once. I know you've seen this a few more times than I have. So, but in terms of, that's a bit. I'm a real penchant for the color scheme, and I just think Willie's has a bit more color. But they chose that. This is something they also chose. So continue on.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm just a fan of it. It's great. This would never. I've never once 20-minute vetoed this. Even though the first time I saw it, you're kind of just left with a question mark over your head, like, who is this lady? And her stare is so like melancholy and solid at the same time, that it's like you can't kind of not look at her face, and it's very interesting. And then off to the races after the first hour, I guess. So you have to. It takes some time to kind of unfold, but then once Nicolas Cage is off on his mission, it's awesome. It's got some insane, weird, supernatural bikers. Richard Brake is in it as this crazy LSD chemist with a tiger, and it's awesome. Like, it sounds banana cakes when you just say all the little pieces individually, but I think Panos Cosmatos did a phenomenal job. Unfortunately, I haven't actually checked out any of his other movies, so I should one day do that. Like, what is it, Black Rainbow or
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Beyond the Black
I don't
Rainbow?
think he's done that many. I think it's like Mandy and Beyond the Black Rainbow, maybe something else.
But I'm wearing my Cheddar Goblin shirt, and I thought the Cheddar Goblin was something me and friends who like this movie would just laugh about. Like, what I don't know. It's like you need this little island of levity, this tiny little island of joke in the middle of this horror show. It's so strange, the little Cheddar Goblin commercial, and it's amazing. Anyways, that's definitely not 20-minute veto. Definitely worth your time, especially if you're into cult movies and heavy metal. Even some of the trip out scenes, they add the animation. It's very heavy metal inspired, but doesn't go too far down the like Rob Zombie kind of like kind of rat fink in stuff. They kind of keep it more streamlined, I guess, the art, but it's awesome. H, what do you think?
I love this movie. It's super. I love the visuals. I love those. I think they needed more of them, but those title cards for
I
the
love the chapters
with the
fonts and everything are
the
amazing.
typography choices that they made were really awesome. I wanted more of that. I loved the way that they did the logo for this movie. With almost looked like almost looked like no. Even at the end, they showed it again.
The black metal logo.
Yeah, where it's kind of in the shape of a heart.
I didn't notice that.
And is also a black metal nod. Which there's a lot of metal references in here too, which the metal fan in me loves. She's wearing Black Sabbath t-shirts and Motley Crue that she's cut the sleeves have been cut off like we all do, and the one she's got is so big that it's an off the shoulder kind of a deal, like that. If you're into this kind of a scene, then it's absolutely, you're going to enjoy that. But I love the colors and long, beautiful shots of the trees and the lake and those. It's a bit of a, you can't really 20-minute veto this one because you'll never get into the actual story, because those first 20 minutes really, they set up, like you said, Sean, that this is like her little haven. You know, you see it's isolated, but it's beautiful. It does seem very safe, like a little,
like a wood fairy.
yeah, like a metal wood fairy, like a little slice, which is what I want to be. So like, I love this movie, minus the ultra violence. I don't want that part, but
Yeah, no revenge needed.
you know, like this is their little magic safe haven where they can just, she can be herself and whatever. But that unfortunately attracts the attention of this Jeremiah character. That is the one con I will say about this film. If you didn't want to see Thomas Wayne's penis, this maybe isn't the movie for you, because they really, he goes for it. Good for him, but
Well, he's that full of himself.
The character's that full of himself, and the actor's that committed. What's his name again? Linus Roach. Yeah. He's great.
We just saw him in Chronicles of Riddick.
We did just see him in Chronicles of Riddick, and he was also great in that. But they could have just shown him opening the robe without the full shot, you know, like we would have got it without, the inferred. You know, I feel like Game of Thrones just kind of broke the wall down for just penis all the time. And I don't know how I feel about it all the time. Like, it is a choice, you know, but
just give us a balance. If I got 2.5 minutes of Linus Roach's wiener, I need a side boob or a bottom butt for half a second. I think that's negotiable. And in a film like this, where the ultraviolence
you get a butt, you get a dead old man's butt.
I'll have that. Yes.
They did the animated heavy metal boobs of Mandy, which is a, you know.
Then why couldn't I get a Linus Roach wiener animated?
In
full erection.
Yeah,
I would be fine with
I did.
For 2.5 minutes, folks.
But I would say that's the big con of this movie for me, is I just felt that was super unnecessary, and it was just a sign of the times, being in 2018, that like male frontal nudity was just shoehorned in there.
Normalized.
It kind of it felt unnecessary. It was like, why? But the stuff with, especially all the stuff with getting high with the combination of bug venom and some kind of opiate, I'm sure that they dropped into the eyes.
LSD.
It was LSD.
The nurse or whatever, the lady who administered it, like took the rest of it from the
Right.
She got mad or something. Anyway, we got like 1 minute left before we hit our own mark here.
So definitely worth your time. Definitely, Mandy.
Any final thoughts, good sir, as this was your...
I'm glad there's no sequel. I could totally see people clamoring, hey, where's Mandy 2? Mandy 2. It's not necessary. That movie is just a one and done. That's fantastic. You know, it took me by surprise. I knew it was going to be I saw the trailer, and I knew it was going to be you know, something that spoke to me, because the trailer was great and really grindhousey and awesome, you know, and that really comes through in the movie. But there's a similarity to this one, I think, in Drive for me, or even Valhalla Rising. Like, you don't need to continue the story. It's a great movie on its own, one and done. You know, the question at the end, is he alive? Is he dead? Did he actually get out of it? They never address the fact that he's been stabbed like right through one of his lungs, it looks like, at one point when they stab him like Christ on the cross.
I was gonna say that, like Jesus style,
so like, and you know, they've got these mythical, like that blade they used and the conch to call the bikers. It's so,
I wanted more of that little
wild.
conch,
It is like a story out of a heavy metal magazine. It's awesome.
All right, thank you so much. We'd like to celebrate our sponsor this evening, Cheddar Goblin. If you like mac and cheese but want it vomited by a goblin, please go to your local store and get Cheddar Goblin. Let us know.
By Devane.
By Devane, that's right.
Let us know what you like of the show. If you guys want us to review or talk about certain movies, send us a message. Thanks for joining us today on 20 Minute Veto. Have a great night.
Cheers.
Later.